everyone, so this is gonna be a short video hopefully, and as you can see from the title, there's a new kid on the block. I bought a new camera, and that is for one purpose really. Now usually all the videos that I would have done in the past would have been recorded using this camera, and this is the Canon 250D or SL3 or I think 200 Mark II. Depending on whichever region you're from, you're gonna see different names listed, or who the different regions the camera was made for has different names. So this was the workhorse. This was the camera that took all the videos and all the pictures. If you go on my Instagram, you will see all those pictures you see, unless they're from the air, which obviously would have been taken with a drone. All the other pictures taken with this, and it was a good camera. It still is a good camera, a decent camera to start with, to learn with. Really didn't have much issues with it. However, I did start to meet up on the limitations of the camera. Although some may say that the lenses I had were also a limitation, but I think in terms of a platform to go forward with, especially in terms of the competition locally in Antigua, we don't have maybe as many photographers as maybe some of the states in the US, like in terms of the photographers in a location. We may not have the same number. I don't think we do, but we do have a lot of competition, and everybody's kind of diversifying themselves. And at least in the area that I'm trying to market myself towards, there's a lot of high-end competition. And in terms of the pictures that I want to do, the pictures I want to capture, the videos I want to make, it was very much time to upgrade from this. And so Canon R7 was the camera I chose to go forward with. So I'm gonna need to put up some pictures, but I do have the box. So EOS R7, R7, R. So Canon R7, that was the one I chose. There's different reasons for it. One, I wanted a camera with a mechanical shutter. I know the Canon R8 is similarly priced. However, the R8 doesn't have a mechanical shutter. It's all electronic shutter. And it's a faster electronic shutter than what the R7 has, or at least that's what I've heard. But with a lot of the motorsport photography that I do, I didn't want to rely on the electronic shutter. The thing about it is, if all you have is an electronic shutter and that can't do the job, then you're kind of stuck with it. I think there is the electronic first curtain, but I know the mechanical would have been the better of the options. So while the R8 had a lot of benefits, especially being full frame and so forth, it did have its downsides. None of my lenses, except for the EF 50mm nifty 50, outside of that lens, all of my other lenses are EFS lenses. So I didn't really want to. If I went with the R8, I would have had to buy lenses, and based on the budget that I had to record, I wouldn't have had a lot of lenses that I could have chosen, especially because the RF lens line is still being built up. So I wouldn't be able to get that much for the budget that I had. So I decided that the R7 is probably the way to go. And in addition to that, the R8 has some overheating issues. And one of the requirements for the next camera I got was it for sure had to be a 4K capable camera. This can shoot 4K, yes, the 250D. However, Anybody who knows about this knows that the 4K is basically unusable, unless you're going to be doing all manual focusing, because you lose that dual pixel autofocus once you go into the 4K mode, as well as you also get an additional intense crop placed on top of the 1.6 crop, it being an APS-C camera. So the issue with the R8 was its overheating, and how quickly it would overheat. And I just saw a lot of the videos that I would have been watching, people reviewing it, and just the comments about it. That was a bit of a concern, because when I'm out taking photos or when I'm out doing videos, it's direct sunlight the entire time. If I get to the track by 12 and I'm at the track until 12 p.m. and I'm at the track until maybe 10 p.m., that 12 to 4, 12 to 5 is just hot. I'm just in the sun. Unless there's not much taking place, or maybe I'm switching to using the drone. The camera's just on, and I'm just firing shots off. I'm taking pictures, I'm doing videos, and for this camera, I really wanted it to be a video camera. I will be doing a lot of photos with it, but when I was at the track and there was two of us doing photography, one doing photo and one doing video, this was the photo camera, and I was borrowing a Sony, I think it's an A6300, to do videos, because it does videos better than the 250D, at least color wise. With the grading that I wanted to do, it was just a better option than having the A6300 doing the photos and then this doing video, just primarily because of I had better lens options with this than the A6300 that I was renting. For video, it was fine though. However, it just kind of meant that in looking at the R8, while it did have its pros, for my use case, the cons are a bit of an issue. So now, the other option, based on the price, was the Sony A6700. Really good camera. I know it's a mini, I forget which one, I probably have put it up on screen, but it's like I think it has the same internals as the FX30, I think. So really good for video and a decent photography camera, and I knew that the lens options would have been good for the Sony E mount. However, given the lenses that I already had, I just thought it was better to just get a camera that could use the EFS lenses, just with an adapter, with minimal issues, and so I decided to go with the R7. As well as I know that the A6700 had some level of overheating issues, especially recording in 4K. I don't know how prevalent they were, how big of an issue it was, but I just decided that the R7 was the option for me. I know it's had its issues, vlogging and stuff like that, but I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't really do much vlogging. So the use of the wide angle lens to do a lot of vlogging, if it's still an issue, it wouldn't be that much of an issue for me, because I don't really do that. So it's not a bother for me. So I'll be doing a lot with this camera. We're in August now. August 24th and 25th is Prime Minister's Cup up at North Sound International Raceway in Antigua. where I'm based, so I'll be there for that event, and that's gonna really be the break-in event for this camera. In terms of car photography, I'm in the States now, and I've been doing a bit of photography while I've been up here, as much as I can, without being kind of weird, trying to take photos of cars, Try not to be weird at the same time. And it seems decent. Still getting used to the autofocus system, locking in my settings. Because it's a bit different. I find it a bit different compared to the 250D. So just kind of getting used to that. Getting used to recording in C-Log 3, which I'm recording right now. In for the shock of my life, when I tried to put the SD card in my computer and it could not read it. It couldn't read the file. Put it into DaVinci Resolve, the free version. Showed up as an audio file, and I was like, what on earth? And then I went down this spiral, just reading and understanding that only the studio version of DaVinci Resolve, the paid version, the one for $295 US, is the one that will read it for Windows. I've heard that Mac users, apparently you guys can just do it on the free version, apparently. I could be wrong, but I read that in one of the forums. So I decided to buy the studio version so I don't have those issues. I mean, there was the alternative in one video I saw where you could convert it using Handbrake to another format that was better to be read, but it was a lot of time, and especially the number of clips I would come back with from an event to convert all of those before I can even start editing. I don't think it would have been worth it. Well, I think it's worth it to buy the studio version for that case, just in terms of how my turnaround times usually are. Especially in the peak drag racing season in Antigua, you try to get your videos out before too much hype builds for the next event, because now everybody's focus is turned towards the next event and bringing out a video too late. So I try to have relatively quick turnaround times. So yeah, there's that. So this Prime Minister's Cup, the 24th and 25th of August. I can't remember if there's another event in between. I know there is Little Tokyo in October the 20th, I believe. So let me tag the organizers. Or let me shout out the organizers. So Prime Minister's Cup is done by G Money, Augustin Brown Jr. Little Tokyo by Antigua Streets. You can find these on Instagram, by the way. After Antigua, so that's the 20th of October. November is Legendary Drags by the Antigua and Barbuda Drag Racing Association. And I'm not sure if any event is taking place in December. Last year there was Class Kings, but I don't know if Class Kings is making a return this year. So I know there's those events at the minimum, but there's some other stuff that I want to do as well. Whether there's events I go to or just passion projects that I work on. There's some stuff that I really want to do. Oh, and then of course there's the Farmer ID program, which I've been assisting with, at least the photography side of things. So I'll be really testing out this camera, and the only native RF lens that I have is the Nifty 50, which I bought for that one as well. RF Nifty 50 50mm 1.8. So I'll be testing them out and really putting this camera through its paces, seeing what it's like, autofocus, the video for performance, trying to work with 33 megapixels, trying to work with C-Log 3, that whole thing. And hopefully I would be aiming to put out a video after each event. So Legendary Drags, Prime Minister's Cup, Little Tokyo, for motorsports, which I find it be very important. I also want to do another video, because those videos would be more like recaps, but this video would be more like just talking about my experience with the camera, with motorsports, because that was one thing. I didn't find a lot of videos talking about motorsports for this camera, and I'm sure there are other persons who are thinking about it, maybe waiting for the Canon R7 Mark II, but up to this date, everything has only been speculations about what it's going to be, when it's going to be released. Because I am now hearing about I saw something recently about the Canon R6 Mark III, which will be released in, I think, December. So in my mind, at least until the end of this year, there's nothing that's going to be announced about the R7, in my mind. And I have a need for a new camera now, so it doesn't make sense for me to wait. If the Mark II comes out, maybe it might bite me, but I will make this work. And I know it's a thing that a lot of photographers go through, trying to buy gear and kind of worried about something newer coming out shortly after you buy yours. But hey, only thing you can do is make the best of the gear that you have with you. And I've been on the other side of that. I bought the DJI Mini 2 weeks, the week before the Mini 2 came out. DJI wasn't releasing drones that fast back then. But hey, rumors turned out to be true. It was released, the Mini 2. I bought the Air 2, the DJI Air 2, a few months before the A2S came out. So I've been on that side of things. I bought the DJI Air 3. I know here there's a 3S coming out. Granted, I bought the Air 3 closer to when it first came out. So I've had it for a while. But these things happen. The company's just going to be releasing things consistently. And either you're going to try, depending on your work, maybe you're able to stay on the cutting edge and be buying the latest and greatest. But if not, buy the best of what you can afford to do, and make it work. Just make it work. So yeah, this is the end of this video. This is all I wanted to talk about. The purchase of a new camera, potential future videos based on working with the R7. Yeah, so until next time.